Hi everyone, it's Cynthia, independent pampered chef consultant. So I was coming on tonight. Tonight I'm going to be making one of our Tastebuds recipes. This was from the fall of 2021, so last year. So what I'm making tonight is the autumn herb roasted chicken with cider pan sauce. And it's going to be using the bell pepper herb seasoning from Pampered Chef. And I didn't have the fresh herbs today, so an alternative is to use the rosemary herb seasoning. So I'm going to use that today in this recipe instead of fresh. So what I'm going to start off with doing is first I'm going to preheat the oven, which I already did, and I'm going to be making some mashed potatoes in my Rock Crock Dutch oven, which I will show y'all over there. So I have the Rock Crock Dutch oven over there and my 10-inch skillet right there. So what I'm going to do is I already preheated the oven, and I'm going to season the chicken with rub. So it says to use 2 tablespoons of the bell pepper herb seasoning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my chicken over here onto my counter. I'll turn y'all a little bit so you can see. So I have my chicken right here. I'm going to go ahead and just dump it off up here. Maybe. Put the trash over there. I'm gonna grab my paper towel. I have a paper towel in my pocket. So we are going to do 2 tablespoons of the seasoning. So I'm gonna go ahead and open those up. And let me go ahead and get the oil in the pan first. So I'm gonna be putting 2 tablespoons of olive oil in this pan. And I kind of just eyeball it. I don't measure the seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the skillet on over there too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 tablespoon on one side and 1 tablespoon on the other. So we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle this over here. I made this recipe last fall and it was really good. And this particular recipe was in collaboration with Tegan from Half Baked Harvest. If you haven't checked out her recipes, you should check her out on Facebook. She has lots of great recipes. All right, I'm gonna cut off a little bit of this chicken fat. All right. And I'm using my coated chef knife. I use that to cut up potatoes too, so. All right, so we're gonna flip this chicken over. Get rid of that little piece. Wipe off my hands a little bit too, again. Normally I could have already had this all measured out and ready to go, but I just wanted to show y'all. Flip that one over and season this side. And my pan isn't big enough to do all the chicken at once, so I'm going to do a little bit at a time. But I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands real quick. Okay, cleaned off my hands, and give the oil a couple minutes to actually heat up some. But I was going to show y'all after I get the chicken started. I'll show y'all some of the other products that I'm going to be using tonight for tonight's dinner. I'm going to go ahead and move the knife out of the way. So we're going to want to cook the chicken breast in the pan for about 5 minutes on each side. But since I'm only going to be able to do 2 breasts at one time, it's going to take a little bit longer. So what I will do is I will do a little bit, show you some of the other ingredients and everything. I'll stop the video and then I will do another video that shows the remaining portion of it. So we're gonna go ahead and I will turn you this way and let you see the stove. And I'm gonna be using one of my old kitchen utensils from Pampered Chef. It's one of my favorites. This set is my ultimate favorite. And as you can see, I got a little bitty board that tells you what we're having. We're having the autumn herb roasted chicken with cider pan sauce. All right, so let me go ahead, get a fork so I don't have to touch the chicken again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put one in here. And the other one. So we're gonna let those cook. And it says to over medium heat, which is about what I have it on. So we're gonna leave that there. So while that is cooking, I'm gonna set these two breasts aside. And my water is still coming to a boil. And then once that comes in, we'll actually put the potatoes in that. So with this recipe, you're actually gonna do apples. And it tells you to use Honeycrisp apples, or you can use Jazz or something like that. But it says to do it in 10 slices. My apple slicer is only 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice these. And get those sliced up while that chicken's cooking. I love fresh apples. All right. Now, Pampered Chef did come out with, in the fall product line, they have a vegetable wedger, which would actually make it a little bit easier to cut these apples or vegetables. All right, so let me go ahead and set my timer for this chicken. And since it's already been about a minute, I'm only gonna do it for 4 more minutes on this side. What is everybody else having for dinner tonight? I hope it's something really good. Sure it is. All right, so got the apples sliced up. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the garlic ready. And so I'm using the garlic pillar and slicer. So I'm gonna turn it that way. So the really cool thing about this is you put the garlic in there and you just smash and roll, and it takes the garlic clove out of the skin, which is nice. And then I'm gonna actually use the slicer and actually slice up the garlic. So let's go ahead and roll that one. And that one's empty too. Let's do this one. Now the thing about garlic is if you want a more robust flavor, you're actually going to want to do it in slices. If you want a milder garlic flavor, then you'll mince it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a clove of garlic in here and close it up. And all you do for this is just spin it, and it'll slice up the garlic. So it is now sliced in beautiful little slices. All right, so that is one garlic. Go ahead and do the other one. The recipe calls for mashed garlic, but I was really wanting the slices, so I thought it would be really good. And the last garlic. All right, so I have all my garlic sliced up. And as I said, this is the garlic pillar and slicer set. And to peel the potatoes earlier, I used the vegetable peeler. And then I was cutting everything up on the flexible cutting mat, which I have quite a few of those. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn y'all back over this way. Come check on the chicken. wants it to be brown on both sides, so it's gonna go a little bit longer. So, according to the timer, I have a minute left, so that's gonna be about right. And then once this is done and I cook the other set of chicken breasts too, then they'll go into this pan over here, which is the rectangular baker. They did come out with a new design on it now. It is actually a beautiful bright white, and it also has, you can buy another piece that would go with it too, which is the stoneware serving tray. So it'll be the same color, it would be the white and everything, and it'll be partially glazed like this one. And the nice thing about the new stone serving tray is you can actually put it on top of here. And when you put it on top of here, you can use it as a lid. You can use it to bake your vegetables on top of it. You can do your breads on top of it while you're cooking your lasagna or whatever you have in that pan. All right, so that was the timer for the chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. And I'm gonna set another timer for 5 minutes and let the other side cook for 5 minutes. And then when it goes in the oven, it's only gonna cook in the oven for 20 minutes. All right, got my timer going, and this is the Pampered Chef timer. And the nice thing about this is you can actually set 4 different timers. So if you have 4 different things cooking that need timers, you can do that. It also has a magnet on it, so it will stick to metal. It has the stand, as you can see that it's standing up. It's standing up over there. But you can also, if you got stuff to do, you can clip it on yourself and actually wear the timer. So that's nice. So if you got other things that aren't in the kitchen that you need to do, then you can just go ahead and go do what you need to do there, and then come back to this. All right, so while that is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and switch back over this way. We're still waiting for the water to come to a boil. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I already cut up some shallots earlier. So it wanted you to have 2 shallots cut in half, which I already did that. So this is in one of our 1 cup prep bowls. And the nice thing is they come with lids, so you can prep ahead and put it in the fridge. You can also bake in these. You can make little desserts. They are safe in the oven up to 350 degrees, so which is nice. Okay, so I've got the oil going. The chicken is cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and start measuring out my liquids that I'm going to need. So I am going to need a cup of apple cider vinegar, so we have a cup of that. We're going to go to a little bit bigger measuring cup. So this is the Easy Read plastic measuring cups. And what's nice is they come in a 1/4 cup one, a 1 cup, a 2 cup, and a 4 cup. And so we just did the 1 cup of the apple cider vinegar. So now we are going to do a 1/2 cup of white wine. And so I'm just using this little white wine. I found that if I buy the little 4-packs of the white wine or the 4-packs of the red wine, I don't waste as much wine. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here. So that is 1/2 cup. So see, there's not much that'll potentially be dumped out. All right, so we'll move that one in there too. And let me check on the timer. So we have 2 minutes left on the chicken. And then we will do the rest of the instructions. So what it says is arrange the apples, shallots, garlic, thyme, and sage. But since I don't have time and the fresh sage, we're going to use the rosemary herb dress or seasoning, so we will use that instead. So what we're gonna do is arrange the apple, shallots, and garlic around the chicken. So once the chicken's done, I'll put it in there and then we'll get it all set up. My water is almost boiling now. I wish I could smell this. It smells delicious, especially, there's something about fresh cut garlic is so good, and even onion. Love the smell of onions. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I will stop this video here, and then I will start up another video shortly.